get this box score up.
Yeah. All right, we're good. Hello, Big Blue Nation. Drew Franklin here with Nick Roush, Adam Luckett, standing outside Kroger Field, where Kentucky just went to overtime with the preseason #1 team in the country, but came up short, losing 16-13. What a shootout. But it was a pretty fun night till the end. The Cats had a chance, couldn't punch it in from the goal line in the first overtime period. After driving down the field, getting a field goal to even get to overtime, it was looking like they were in a good spot, but couldn't pull it off. Get stuffed on the goal line. Texas kicks a field goal. Nick Roush, we thought it could be low scoring, but did you think Kentucky would actually have a chance to win it there at the end like they did, getting into overtime and getting all the way down to the goal line?
I would just want to apologize to all of you who actually thought that they were going to win. I've been here. I felt this heartache before. I wasn't going to be vulnerable, okay? I wasn't going to let myself feel because I knew what was going to happen. Even when Kendrick Law went 22 yards at the first snap of overtime, I wasn't ready to let myself believe because it just, I don't know. I just wasn't ready there. I wasn't there yet, Drew. It wasn't going to happen. It didn't happen. Kentucky had twice as many yards as Texas and lost.
26 first downs to 8 first downs. Texas had 2 first downs in the second half. It feels like the Missouri game, right? How many 3 and outs in a row?
Yeah.
Here's the bottom line. That was the Georgia game last year.
You called
all over again.
Credit to Luckett. He called it.
Fans are leaving the stadium madder than hell because they feel like they should have won the game. They feel mad at the coaching, how they handled it at the end of the game. It's just different. It was Stoops' decision. This time it's a Hamden. I think Nick overall and Drew, this is kind of a big picture thing.
Oh, it is.
Philosophy-wise, how they play football, the game couldn't have gone any better. To a T. Texas, I think we can all say they're a flawed football team. It's a game you should win at home, and you can't win it.
Definitely. Before we go on, I got to shout out Friends of Cole. Kentucky.
Shout out Friends of Cole.
Yeah, can't go on without shouting out Friends of Cole, Kentucky.org. We love Friends of Cole. They sponsor our Rapid Reactions. They keep the lights on. This thing is driving me crazy. Friends of Cole does not drive me crazy. They drive Kentucky with Cole. Check them out, friendsofcolekentucky.org. Back to the big picture problems, Nick Roush.
Little picture problem quickly. I guess it's a big picture problem. Nobody tries to jump over the pile anymore. This is not 1995. This is not Walter Payton jumping over the top. Dante Dowdell was paid a lot of money to be a short yardage back. They put David Goose's big ass, the nose guard in front to lead the way, and he just jumped up and got stuffed twice. I actually liked the call on second down, the little flea flicker. I think Cutter, in hindsight, he probably wishes he just tried to stretch it out. But there was a guy waiting for him right there at the pylon. I liked that call, but then they just went back to back. We're going to try to use this big SOB. We paid a lot of money to be our short yardage back, and frankly, he just hasn't been it this year. He hasn't been good enough. And trying to jump over the goal line, it does not work. Stop trying to do it. Stop trying to make fetch happen.
He also jumped straight up.
They called a QB sneak on 3rd and 2 that ruined the first red zone possession. They called the leap play. The ball was at the 1. The ball was closer to the 2 than at the 1. They called the leap play, the first one, from the 2-yard line.
He actually had a pretty good leap. He was just so far out, he didn't get to the goal line.
So, all last year, they couldn't, how many situations did they have like that last year? Not in big spots, but they got down there and they couldn't score. We talked about it all last year, and now it shows up. It's just you got to throw up your hands. The 3 touchdown or less streak is extending, and you're just ruining opportunity after opportunity. And you finally get one you can win, and your defense plays awesome.
Can I say something?
The defense deserved to win that game by 15 points.
And the crowd was believing, too.
Oh, yeah.
You could feel it in there.
Poor
the energy turned, and the momentum was on the blue side there at the end.
I got to go talk to Mark Stoops here in a second, but I do got to say one thing that did surprise me more so than anything this game. Kentucky did the 2-minute drive thing again, right? It was just like the Georgia game where you have a good 2-minute drive, but then you take a sack when you couldn't afford to, you got to burn a timeout, and then you kick a 53-yard field goal and misses just left. They actually got the 2-minute drive. Commend the defense again. You give up another 40-yard punt return to Niblett, Jansen Dunn. Huge whiff. One thing you couldn't do. They only had to go 21 yards to get a field goal, but Kentucky gets a stop. Minute left. Boley gets the ball back. 51 seconds left. 0 timeouts. Kentucky actually got the 2-minute drive to go tie the game. They finally put one together. And that's the thing that sucks is every time you feel like this team's taking a step forward, they're doing something else right. Boley was outstanding. I don't have the stats in front of me. I think he was 30 of 36 for 200 plus, had about 50 yards rushing, 2 and a rushing touchdown. He was incredible, but you still couldn't get it done. Like, that's a game you should have won. You got to win. And once again, back to the big picture, fans are leaving this stadium pissed off. And that's just happened way, way, way too much. It's been since September 30th, 2023, the Kentucky fans have left this stadium with a win over a power conference opponent. That's way too long.
Go say hi to Mark Stoops for us.
Touchdown.
1 yard.
1 yard.
1 yard.
They scored one touchdown.
Now, here's the best part. Wesley, I just saw Wesley Woodyard. I said, we need you. Gave him the fist bump. He said, I'm coming back.
All right. Can you get 1 yard? We need 1 yard. Did Roush already leave?
He's out.
All right, see you later, Nick Roush.
Between the tackles is bad math. Just pay attention to college football. I don't want to say any names. I yelled my piece for Bush 1 yard. That's my rapid reaction.
Well, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
But Drew, they scored one touchdown, and they got the ball at this.
Jersey, be back next week.
There he is. What they get the ball at the 5? Texas got the ball at the 5 after the one punt return. Like, the defense basically pitched the shutout. And you can't win the game.
230 more yards.
Yeah.
I think we're all saying it. Cutter Boley looked much better than Arch Manning.
Awesome.
I almost feel bad for Arch. The sport of football wanted him to be good. Has he been that bad all year? I mean, he kind of sucks. I hate saying that out loud. Arch was awful. I don't know if he had the yips, but their lady had a wide open guy just throws it at his feet. I mean, they couldn't even pass with him. Sark had to run the ball, but I did not expect to leave this stadium with Kentucky outgaining them by 200-something yards and Cutter Boley being the best quarterback, and then we have fans yelling, fire Stoops and we suck. Like, those things don't align.
They outrushed them. They did everything you should do in a football game to win, and they just couldn't, get it done. And it feels like we're just having the same conversation over and over.
There's Big Wes. Jump in here, Wes. Can you say hi?
Still cats over everybody. Disappointed. Our boys fought hard.
I know. So close.
So close. We're right there.
It's good seeing you out here, though.
Yep,
all the
it's great to be here.
There. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Have
a good night. Legend there. Back to your Georgia comparisons. For our pregame show listeners, you brought that up. I mean, it was almost identical. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't they go get Dante Dowdell because they couldn't score from the 1 against Georgia? It's kind of...
He was the best, by numbers, he was the best short yardage tailback in college football. And I think he was 0 for 3 on short yardage carries tonight. That was one of the reasons you brought him in here. It's just highly disappointing. Highly, highly disappointing. And, you can't, everyone's leaving here pissed, but then it's like, where do they go? Like, is this just a thing that can they recover from that, right? That's something you have to ask. It felt like, this was the path to maybe playing for something and keeping this season alive. Now you're, all the trends are there. What are they, 2-4, 0-4 you're 2-4 at the halfway point, 0-4 in the league at the halfway point with some tough games left.
And you're 2, Eastern Michigan, they're nothing. Toledo isn't what we thought.
Yeah, I think the one good thing out of all of this is you're seeing growth from number 8.
Oh.
And that is very, very important because it's going to save you a trip to the free agency in the offseason. That's what everyone wants to get out of. He looks like someone you can build around. So that is a good foundation, a good starting point. But in a lot of ways, they're having to retrain and reset everything. And in part of that, you have to learn how to win football games. And tonight, you got to be better. Offense, you just got to be better. You got to be able to finish drives better. And that's at the end of the day, that's kind of the bottom line. Defense doesn't force a turnover. Maybe if you just force one turnover, you win the game. But you really can't say anything about that group. Offensively, you got the ball at the 1. You got to score, and you got to go up 7, and then see if Manning can beat you at that point when you had only allowed 2 first downs in the second half.
I mean, if you just punt it away and don't let him get his hands on it, you win this game. The two punt returns were the game.
Yeah, the 2 punt returns were if they don't have those, who knows what this game looks like? That's why it's so, disheartening, because it's special teams and the offense really just let you down. And the offense played well. That's the bad part about this. They really did play a good game, and Cutter was awesome, but they just could not figure it out. When they got in the red zone, go. What is that?
Right there.
Bunch of red zone trips, and it's just highly disappointing.
Little Rich Scangarello sighting. He just walked by. There's Rich. Yeah, zoom in on Rich down there. Rich is in the house. Former OC in the house. Roush said this, the date, but to lose in this building 10 straight games between the SEC and Louisville, I don't know how these people keep showing up, to be honest.
Great crowd tonight. You know, there was a lot of Texas fans, but I've seen bigger opposing fan turnouts here. Kentucky fans showed out, and they keep going home with L's. It's just tough.
So are we going to hear back to work, take a look at it? Like, what do you think Stoops will say?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm more interested to see, kind of hear what Hamden has to say after that, really.
We'll find out soon. You heard from a few fans there. Not a happy bunch out here. I will say, it was, until the outcome, that was the most fun I've had here in a while. There wasn't the misery that we've had a lot. There was a lot of belief in here. Boley looks promising. It's good that his favorite targets are his age. I mean, Gilmore and Rodriguez, he's looking for them often. That can be something special, but you got to keep it together this season. And
Jay Miller, true freshman, a couple catches, had the big catch there to set up the 45-yard field goal to tie the game at the end of regulation. So you're seeing some young players make some plays, but then again, we get back to just, I think a lot of this is just big picture and how they operate and kind of how philosophy, how they go about things. They play a certain brand of football, and it feels like almost, Drew, like there's not that kind of let's go for the knockout punch. It feels like that's just not there, and when Texas was right for you to knock them out and really kind of run away from them, you weren't able to do it because you can't finish drives, you can't score points.
Well, I guess it's the halfway point of the season, 2-4. Tennessee next week. Oh, boy.
Took it on the chin tonight.
They did. They took it on the chin, but it will be very orange in here. The puke orange, the one we can't sit with. This one was tolerable, but it'll be orange again next week. Hopefully get a win. I mean, that would be fun, but for right now, it's more misery, more sad fans. But thank you for watching us here on YouTube. Follow KentuckySportsRadio.com all night. We'll be up in the press box for several hours. You all enjoy the rest of your evening. Shout out to Friends of Cole for always sponsoring these. Go Cats, and we'll see you next week.